What exactly is friendship? Are your friends more important to you than your family? What are you willing to go through for a friend? The anime Rainbow has all the answers for you. It focuses on friendship, as well as several other themes based around friendship, such as humanity, morality, violence, love, family, etc. This is my review. Story Rainbow is a tale about 7 inmates in a special reform school who grow closer with the increased time they spend together. All 7 of them are there for committing several crimes which shape these very different yet very similar individuals. From the opening moments of the first episode right through to the last scene of the last episode, I was hooked. The show grabbed me and forced me to sit down and watch what happened next. Rainbow is brutal, mature, dark and at times depressing. But I was surprised at how light the show can get at certain points, from the funny banter between the 7 inmates to the way they overcome obstacles by relying on each other and their bond. The tone shifts from time to time, but Rainbow manages to keep the shifts fluid and smooth. For me, Rainbow had 2 highlights, and the story was definitely one of them. The writing was well done because the show didn't come off as melodramatic and managed to feel really inspirational at certain points, and there were more twists than one would expect from a show like this. It even provides insight on the smallest actions of the gamblers in the series, thus, giving you tips on how to become a better gambler. How can you not like that? The true meaning of the title was never revealed, but most speculators believe the definition of Bakuman comes from the 2 words, Bakuchi manga, meaning gambling manga. It is a simple tale of 2 middle school guys setting out to become professional manga artists. The story progresses like any other sports or music anime, where ordinary guys aim for the top, facing many challenges and rivals on the way. However, I consider this to be the greatest shonen, because it analyzes what makes a manga good in a coherent way, and more importantly, it practices what it preaches. Story. If I could describe the story of Bakuman in one sentence, it would be something like this. Bakuman is a tale about 2 best friends, Mashiro Murataka and Tagaki Akito, who want to become Japan's greatest mangakas. Their journey is long and filled with laughter, cheers, tears, courage and romance. The personal lives of our mangakas contain a lot of twists and drama, which makes the story more engaging than one would expect. The story is engrossing and so well written that I wish some of the stories and ideas that the characters come up with for their manga were real. The heroic legend of Arslan is an adventurous tale of how a young prince is driven out of his own kingdom, and how he must become a man worthy of leading his people to reclaim his kingdom. The whole series is about war and its stratagem. This show exceeded my expectations in several areas. Story. I want to start with the plot since it is what impressed me the most here. It is very rare to come across a historical and non-supernatural war anime that is this good. Each battle scene is carefully planned out. This is one of those series like Log Horizon, where strategy is the most interesting thing about the story. But on top of that, there is plenty of revenge, betrayal, and other plot twists that keep the story's edge sharp. Another thing that impressed me about the plot was how well each episode was planned. There was never a single episode where I felt like I was wasting my time. I'll admit Arslan Chenki has a rather slow story, like most war series. However, this is simply because it takes time to unravel every piece of the plot. The audience is offered several viewpoints from different angles so that no part of the story is overlooked. Even during the parts that are slow, each episode contributes to the plot and or character development. Inuyasha Ki is a science effect anime series that adapts a manga with the same name, which was written and illustrated by Hiroya Oku, who is also the original creator of Gans. The anime focuses on the 2 individuals, Shishigami Hiro and Inuyasha Ki Ichiro. Although very different, the 2 gain the same powers, with which they are now able to not only destroy Japan but also the whole world. The question, however, is that how these 2 are going to use these superpowers? Anyway, Inuyasha Ki is, indeed, a better version of Gans. Yet, if you have never heard of Gans, or if you do not want to watch this anime only because of the fact that Gans was too much for you, do not jump to any unnecessary conclusions yet. As a fan of Gans, there is a 90% chance that you will highly appreciate this series, because sometimes Inuyasha Ki is just too realistic, but later about that. For those who have never heard of Gans, you are in a better position. I do not have to explain you anything. Inuyasha Ki Ichiro is a living embodiment of misfortune. He is only 58 years old, but he looks like he is actually 70-something years old. He earns money for his family and tries not to be a burden for his family. At the same time, his family sees him only as a source of money. In addition to this, the main protagonist of the series finds out that he has cancer at an incurable stage. Having heard the news, Ichiro heads back home to explain the whole situation to his family, and when he is about to engage in this rather tragic conversation with his family, he understands that his family does not care. Can it even become worse now? And the answer is yes. Ichiro goes for a walk with his only true friend, his dog. Being in the position where no one actually cares about you, the man speaks with his fluffy buddy, which is the only living being that he can talk to. Suddenly, Inuyasha Ki Ichiro notices a young man standing nearby. A strong blinding light in the night sky strikes the earth where Ichiro and the young man stand. He later wakes up to find out that he is no longer ill and that his body is now something that can either save or destroy the world. How the new superhero is going to use that power? And what is he now? Taiji is another gambling series done by the same people who made Akagi. If you happen to read my review on Akagi, which was very disappointed to me. But the same cannot be said about Taiji. This time the producers realized their mistakes and fixed it. Now, this is a gambling series done right. Story: the plot revolves around a man named Taiji, who is in his early 20s and is debt-ridden. It doesn't seem he will ever be able to pay off his debts, but as if sent from the heavens or hell, a messenger comes to him with an once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to pay off his debts. There are 3 story arcs, and that's basically how each arc starts. But what keeps things certainly interesting and fresh is how with each arc, there is a new means of gambling for Taiji, meaning he's not going to play the same game every time. Watch it for yourself to find out. To add to the unique gambling propositions is that within each arc, there is a heavy load of shock value. It will leave you with your eyes wide open and your jaw touching the ground, constantly making you say, "No way? That seriously did not just happen. I can't believe it." There is, however, still an amount of internal dialogue, but the producers have cut down on it, so the pacing of the story moves moderately. But still, near the end, the internal dialogue got a little overwhelming. There is a lot of tension build up that will keep you on the edge of your seat. What else is great about the plot is that it will keep you guessing from start to finish. All in all, the producers have absolutely managed to make a good story. It even provides insight on the smallest actions of the gamblers.